from the Poland Bulldogs. It is junior catcher Leanna Boccieri.
Hi.
Hey girl. Leanna, thank you for coming on. I know it's your first day off school, first day of spring break, and you're spending it with us. We appreciate that for sure.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, of course, of course. We teed it up for you at the top of the top of your intro. I want to start with the decision you made yesterday and the announcement you made yesterday. For people that didn't see, I mean, talk about what decision you made yesterday.
So yesterday I announced my verbal commitment to St. Bonaventure University. It's a D1 school up in New York, and I'm really excited for this opportunity to play and continue my career.
They're going to have to start renaming that university Pulling U, because I mean, there's starting to be a real flag being planted over there. What were some of the factors that made that feel like home?
Well, my dad did go there. He played baseball there, so he when I was growing up, he would always talk about it. So I kind of was familiar with the name and stuff. And when I went to go visit it, it was just a great community to be around. Everyone's so friendly. When you're walking around on campus, everyone just stops and says hi, says hello. Campus is beautiful. You're surrounded by the mountains. And, Coach Threehouse, I just love him. He's a great person. And, that definitely convinced me to to decide to go there.
How much did the fact that a couple of former Poland players go down to St. Bonaventure play into your decision making and making you feel a little bit more comfortable down there?
Definitely, it made me more comfortable, like seeing someone from Poland, Abby and Brooke Bobby, go to St. Bonaventure. Just kind of made me thought, like, I can do this too. I can succeed at the D1 level up there. So it just gave me some confidence going on to play.
Leanna, we're certainly proud of you from the standpoint of being able to go to the next level. But what you have been able to do from leadership, and we talk about leadership a lot, but when it comes to leaders, there's a lot of names in this area that talk about leadership, but your name stands out amongst them. What kind of leadership have you been brought up to kind of utilize and to be? And has it been different than other people in your family, namely your dad, to be a leader in the community and on your teams?
Being a leader, just especially being a catcher, that kind of has to be your number one factor. I always try to be positive with all my teammates. My dad's definitely a great leader. I definitely learned some things from him, but, being the catcher, as stated, just takes a lot of leadership and confidence. And my dad, just being one of the role models in my life, definitely helped me become a better leader on the team.
As a catcher, one of your jobs is to motivate and to really build a bond with the pitching staff you have. And so far, Lily McDonald doing a really good job, and so is Medbeck when she gets her innings as well. What's it been like to kind of try to build up these younger pitchers that are kind of getting a lot more innings than they saw in years past to try to get the most out of them?
I think building confidence is definitely one of the harder things as a pitcher, just going out there, throwing your game. And we definitely have the defense to back them up. So they just need to trust their teammates, their defense behind them, and just throw their game.
So I guess when you're, as a former catcher, one of the most important things that nobody talks about is building those relationships, building that kind of confidence behind the plate that a pitcher can throw anything they want at any given time, and you're going to be back there to take care of it. How did you kind of build that chemistry with your pitching staff or whoever? I mean, because I know you're in a lot of different avenues when it comes to not just Poland. You're playing travel ball, certainly, and you've had to catch a lot of different pitchers along the way. So how do you build that chemistry quickly in order to make sure that you're a better catcher for them?
I always try to be personable, just be nice to them, show them that I'm there. I'm going to back them up however they're doing in their game. Just building that connection is really important. Just trying to be friendly.
You're always friendly, Lily. One of the things that I love about catchers is there's just a special breed of just toughness in catchers. You're getting a ball thrown at you at 55 to 60 miles an hour from 43 feet away, and it could be in the dirt, it could be upstairs. Whatever it takes to stop that ball from getting past you is what you're going to do. Talk about your mindset of being a catcher and how much you've grown into. I'm going to be a brick wall back here.
Mm-hmm. So coming into as a freshman, catching a D1 pitcher definitely helped me shape shape myself into who I am today as a catcher. Just as my dad says, being a dartboard back there, putting my body on the line, just try to stop the ball if it's in the dirt or in the air. Just trying to help my team back there.
All right, we know that being a dartboard, you're going to possess some bruises in your career. What are some of the worst catching injuries or catching bruises that you've had that you could speak of?
Definitely a concussion, I would say, is the worst.
Oh,
During summer ball, I took a couple of foul balls to the head, so that wasn't great. But other than that, just a couple of bruises, but I can shake them off.
You're also a multiple sport athlete, like a lot of people at Poland are. Talk about how much that well-rounds you as an athlete and as a person to be able to constantly be involved in different sports, be coached by different people, and lead a different group of girls.
So being a multi-sport athlete it just brings me a lot of confidence because I can be a leader in all three of the sports I play. I learned how to interact with people, different like calibers. I know how to talk to people like after they make a mistake. I know who to talk to and who to just, leave alone and let them cool off. But yeah, I would say being a multi-sport athlete definitely rounds me out as a leader.
and as good as it is for Poland, and it is great for Poland, other communities are sitting there wondering, geez, Louise, can we just get rid of this Boccieri girl? Can she just like? There are so many people that were so happy that you committed yesterday, thinking that you were a senior, that they're like, okay, we never have to play her again. Oh no, au contraire, mon frère, we got another year of her. I mean, that's got to feel good for you, knowing that there's so much respect given to your name every time you take the playing surface.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely great to see that my hard work has paid off. Countless hours in the gym, working out, hitting. I'm really glad to see it paid off.
We've been talking about your defense and your catching so much. I don't want to let your bat go without talking about, because you're one of the top averages on the team right now. You're really hitting the good bats so far this season. What's been working so well, especially with all the stop and go of softball? It's hard to find a rhythm with the weather we're having. So what's been the main factor of having so much consistent success for you?
Just going up to bat with a lot of confidence. It's really easy in the sport to get down on yourself, but you fail more times than you succeed. So I just try to remember that when I'm up to bat. Just think about what the work I do in the cage, and just kind of bring that into my bat. Try to be consistent and hit the ball.
We're going to talk about your role models here just a little bit, but some of the people that maybe helped you out as you were starting your career, or even in middle school, motivating you to become the young lady that you are today, on the diamond, I should say just on any playing surface that you're on. But who were some of those people that you've garnered a thing or two along the way about their leadership style or the way that they play the game?
One person that really stands out is Mary Brandt, playing softball at RMU, having a great season. Her just being there kind of helped me settle in a little bit. She's such a nice person to be around. She's a great leader. I strive to be like her one day. But she's definitely one of the teammates that have helped me become the person I am today.
You might get to play against her one day, because St. Bonaventure and RMU, those teams are liable to kind of square up and be on the same softball field at the same time.
Who wins, Leanna? Who wins?
We're going to have to find out.
My daughter just yelled, I win. This is why we can't have Myrtle Beach hours.
No one's going to have a scouting report like Leanna, so she's going to be like, hey, I've played with this girl for 4 years. I know how to pitch to her. When you think about all the things that you've done in softball and the things that you've been able to accomplish, what are some things that you're really proud of yourself for being able to do so far?
My batting average, I'm very grateful to be above 300 all 3 years of my career. Definitely shows my hard work in the cage. I made first team NE8 last year as a catcher and sophomore, so that's just makes me happy to accomplish that.
What are some of the toughest things? I mean, everybody thinks that it comes easy to you or easy to someone that does very, very well. What are some of the biggest challenges that you faced along the way from, growing your game? Was it the hours in the cage? Was it catching? Was it something else? Was it the mental aspect of what softball has brought you? What are some of the bigger challenges that you face that maybe you don't tell people about?
Definitely the mental aspect of this game has to be the hardest. It's so easy to get down on yourself, talk down on yourself. If you strike out, it's so easy to get down, and that can affect your play going forward. But I'm continuing to learn how to deal with that. Just leave it in the rearview mirror. The windshield is bigger than the rearview mirror, so I always got to look forward and just continue playing my game.
As we're talking about kind of, like you said, coming back from the mental side of softball, self-talk is important. Being able to tell yourself after a bad at bat that you're going to get it next time, and you're not down in the dumps, like you said. How much have you grown in being able to talk up yourself instead of talk down to yourself in your head when you do have maybe an at bat that doesn't go your way?
I've definitely improved a lot. I remember last year there was a little bit of a stretch where I had a couple strikeouts. But this year, yesterday being an example, I popped out to the pitcher, I struck out, and then my third at bat, I hit a line drive double to left field. So, you just always have to stay positive in this game because it can change just like that with one good at bat. So just have to be positive.
Do you feel relieved that you made the decision yesterday? Does it help you kind of compartmentalize and say, okay, this is checked off my list, and now I can just focus on what I'm supposed to do for the next year and a half?
Yeah, it was definitely something I could get off my plate. Now I'm just going to focus on continuing to improve my game and helping my team win.
Outside of your parents, who were some of the first people you told, outside of social media, of course, when you committed? Who were some people that you had to let know before the world did that you were committed to St. Bonaventure?
I let my teammates know, obviously, and because they're a part of who I am as a person. They've shaped me into who I am, but they just support me in everything I do, and I'm thankful for them.
Wow, first off, your answers are some of the most polished answers we've ever had on this show. So kudos to your dad and everybody around you for being able to do this. Secondly, I think you're at like a hunting cabin. It just feels like that you're somewhere where there's going to be a deer head or a boar's head somewhere. Is that accurate?
Well, I'm actually in my sunroom. I don't know.
Okay. All right.
No boar's head around here. No deer head.
You guys are a hunting family?
Not necessarily. My dad goes
hunting those dubs.
Hunting those dubs.
In all seriousness, I mean, when you think about the legacy that you've created, and you still are creating, you still have that pen. What do you want people to remember you for, Leanna, when it's all said and done in the next year and a half?
I just want people to remember my leadership skills. I want people to learn how to be personable with other people. I always try to be nice to whoever on my team, outside of sports. Just being nice overall can definitely have an impact, and I just want to be remembered by that.
All right, one of the things I want to know before we let you go, of course, is I want to know your softball icks. I want to know the things that maybe you see other players do around the game that does give you that cringe. We got to know.
One of my pet peeves is people not caring. I know it's kind of a trend in high school softball to just, it's just like high school softball. It doesn't matter. Travel softball is the only thing that matters. But I want to win. And it's frustrating to see some of my teammates and some other players out there just not really care for the game or not really put their heart into the game.
I'm blown away just how good you are. These are just random questions we're throwing. There's softball ick. I don't think you've probably ever been asked that question before, and you still, boom, like state representative coming at you, whammy. So we've talked about your family a lot. You come from a great family with great people and have done a lot, not just for, I'm sure, you and the family, but the community in this area. Why are you so proud to have that last name across between your shoulder blades, essentially, when you're playing travel softball?
My dad's legacy obviously is going to be hard to follow up on, but it's just a good name to have. My siblings have all succeeded. My oldest sister went to play softball at Cleveland State. My second oldest sister played soccer at Mount Union. It's definitely a big name to carry, but I think I can I can go on that level.
How
Can
much? Sorry,
That's okay.
you got a follow up,
Yeah, I
DK?
have a follow up. Sorry. So those names, a lot of times, like you said, they can carry weight, but they
Yeah.
can also overshadow the younger sibling.
Hmm.
Do you feel that? I mean, not that it's a bad thing, but do you feel that pressure every time that someone you register to do something and someone sees your name, or do you think that okay, I'm going to use this as a positive and I'm going to take that and I'm going to level up as
Hmm.
much as I possibly can?
Having my last name is definitely a positive, but I think I can live up to it. I know what I'm capable of and, what I can accomplish. So I'm very confident.
Not a lot of people that are going through a recruitment process can have the people that you do that rely on that say, "Hey, I went through it." And like
Mhm.
you don't have to look far to have people in your corner that went through exactly what you're going through right now. So, talk about how much that helped. How much did it help to have your sisters and your dad to say, "Hey, I went through this recruitment process. I know what it takes to get to the next level." How much of a help was that?
It was a lot of help. Gave me the confidence because this is definitely a hard time period in a lot of people's lives, and I'm just glad I had people to rely on to tell me it was going to be all right. It was going to work out.
I'm all out of questions, but I can tell you that it has been such an honor and a privilege to be able to watch you grow into the leader that you are today. We're so excited always to have you on here and to see you just dominate. I mean, you are an incredible, and it's from one catcher to another. You are about as good as it gets, kiddo. So keep on doing what you're doing. We're proud of
Thank
you, and
you.
we'll continue to watch you back here.
Thank you.
Anthony?
Nope, you got it. Thank you again for the time, Lena. Once again, middle of the day on your day off, we appreciate it. Good luck today against West Brand too.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Leanna. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.